Hello, and welcome to Haunting Murders, the place where we look at murders and their haunting effects. My name is Jackie Gabbs. Throughout the history of mankind, there have been wars, disasters, and much discord at all levels. However, despite all of this, we reflect back on history, draw lessons from it, and advance the world and our lives on a personal level. But even with all the good in the world and our sense of it, evil still walks among us. This brings us to one of the most prolific murderers of all times, self-confessed murderer Samuel McDowell Little, who has confessed to strangling and murdering 93 women. This is his story. Little was born on June 7, 1940, in Reynolds, Georgia. His mother was a prostitute, and Little spent much of his childhood with his grandmother in Lorain, Ohio. He had a troubled childhood and was arrested several times for petty crimes before he turned 20. As he grew older, it got worse. Little, also known as the choke and stroke killer, was responsible for the murders of at least 50 women across 19 states over a period of 4 decades. But what makes this killer so terrifying is not just the sheer number of his victims, but the fact that he was able to evade justice for so long. Little's MO was to prey on vulnerable women, often those who were involved in prostitution or struggling with addiction. He would approach them on the street, lure them in his car, and then strangle them to death. He would then dump their bodies in remote locations, making it difficult for authorities to find them. What's even more disturbing is that Little was able to continue his killing spree for so long because he had a talent of going unnoticed. He had no fixed address, no job, and no close family ties, which made it easy for him to slip under the radar. But how did Little finally get caught? In 2012, he was arrested on a drug charge in a homeless shelter in Kentucky. As part of routine booking procedures, DNA samples were taken and entered into the national database. To the shock of investigators, the samples matched DNA found at 3 unsolved murder scenes from the 1980s. Little was subsequently charged with those murders, and in 2018 he was convicted of the murders of 3 more women. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. While in prison, Little began confessing to other murders, and the authorities were able to link him to more than 60 murders across the country. Little had a photographic memory and was able to recall details of his victims and their murders with astonishing accuracy. Little died in a California prison hospital on December 30th, 2020. He will be remembered as one of the most prolific serial killers in U.S. history, and his legacy will continue to haunt the families of his victims for years to come. Samuel Little's case is a chilling reminder that there are monsters living among us, hiding in plain sight. It also shows the importance of DNA technology in solving crimes and bringing killers to justice. We hope this video has given you a better understanding of the atrocities committed by Samuel Little and the devastating impact his crimes had on the lives of his victims and their families. If you would like to see more content like this, then please hit the subscribe button and the like button and share it with your friends. Remember to stay curious and keep listening.